Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. We are learning through the concepts of child development and pedagogy, which will be useful for the CTET and the state TET exams. So this is common for both paper 1 and paper 2. So in that, already 6 parts are over, and today in this video we'll be looking into the seventh part. That is, we are going to learn about the factors affecting the growth and development. So we've already completed with child psychology, concept of development, emotional development, and individual differences. So in this video, we'll be dealing with the factors affecting growth and development. Now, when we consider the factors affecting growth and development, here we are going to see that whenever we talk about child development, so during the process of the development of the child from the birth till the child reaches the adulthood stage, it comes across various stages. So wherein we'll be able to see that there are a lot of factors which are going to affect or which are going to influence the growth of the child as well as the development of the child. We are broadly classifying this difference, that is these factors, into internal and external factors. When you come to internal factors, it is something which is going to influence or it is going to have an impact on the development of the child from within. External is whatever comes from the outside environment or the outside world. Now, first we look into the internal factors and the external factors individually. So now, looking into the internal factors. So when we talk about internal factors, as I told you, it deals with whatever has a role from within. So the first thing would be the heredity. Heredity, you can call it even as genetic factors. So heredity, it is also called as genetic factors. It talks about the height, weight. So a child whose parents are tall might be tall. If the parents are short, the child also might be short. So when that is going to deal with the growth and the development. So these genetic, the DNA pattern of the parents are going to influence the growth and the development of the child. So even the maturity patterns, everything varies when we talk about the heredity factors. Okay. The next thing is about the physical factors. So physical factors is the development of the muscles, the bones, their physical growth. Okay, that is going to be dealt with the physical factors. So a child who is very strong, a different type of growth is going to be seen. Okay, and a child who is like slightly weaker. Okay, that child's growth or that child's developmental patterns will also be affected. A child who is very active, who is very strong, will be able to achieve the developmental stages a little more early than a child who doesn't have. The next one is going to be the intelligence. So when sometimes we think intelligence does not deal with growth and development, but indeed it plays a very major role because even if the child is going to be 100% physically fit and everything, the intelligence factors also play an important role, especially when it comes to the developmental part. They rather than the growth part, a development which is going to be a qualitative growth, a qualitative increase, okay, that deals on the intelligence, okay, the creative thinking, and how well a child is able to have the memory retention. All these are going to affect the academic achievements of the child. So in that case, this intelligence factor is also going to play an important role. The next one is going to be the emotional factor. This deals with the child's social, mental, moral, all these values. Okay, so these things, the social, mental, the moral values, all these are going to play a part in when we look into the emotional factors. Okay, and these also have an impact on the language development, all such things of a child. Okay, so these things, when we see that a child who is like going to be very easy going will be able to learn at a better pace than a child who is a little bit emotional. Okay, so thus we are completing with the internal factors. Now getting into the external factors. So when we talk about the external factors, we are going to talk about the family factors, okay, and then the physical factors. Okay, when you talk about physical, it is not just the health from within; it also comes from the environment, and then the socio-economic factors. So when we talk about the family, it depends on how the child is brought up in the family, how their parents, their grandparents, and what situation. Is the child being brought up in a nuclear family or in a joint family, or is the child being allowed to be independent, or is the child is going to come from a stressful family situation? All these things are going to have an impact on the development of the child. This has a greater contribution to the learning of the child even. The next one is going to be the physical factors, wherein the place where the child is going to grow. It talks about more about the environment. So, where the child is going to grow, in which kind of a school the child is going to study, is the child being grown in a city or in a town or in a village, and how is the pollution? Because when you talk about pollution, it is going to affect the growth of the child. Okay, so all these things are going to be dealt with here when we talk about the physical factors. Also, the neighborhood, what kind of people are going to be living around. So all those things. The next one is going to be the socio-economic factor. Socio-economic factors depends on their society. Okay, it is somewhat similar to the physical factors, but it also has a major contribution towards their cognitive skills, their social skills. Okay, how the child is going to get along with the society, get along with people around. Okay, so the motivation the child gets from the society and the economic background. Is the child being able to meet all the economic needs? So all these things are being dealt with under the socio-economic factors. So these are the two major factors which are affecting the growth and development of a child. Okay, so thus we have when we see about the factors affecting the growth and development, we are broadly classifying it into internal and into the external factors. Okay. And when we talk about the internal factors of the child, we are able to see that internal factors, it deals with the heredity or the genetic factors, and then the physical factors. Then we dealt with the intelligence, and the last one is going to be the emotional. And when we talk about the external factors, under external factors, we saw about the family, and here again we dealt with the physical factors, and then it is the socio-economic factors. So all these things have a major role when we talk about the factors affecting the growth and development of the child. Okay, so with this we are completing with this concept. The next one is going to be the heredity and the environment. So when we talk about genetic, we talk about socio-economic, we need to know how they actually interfere with the growth and development of the child, which we'll be seeing in the upcoming video. Hope you all are preparing well for your TET exams. All the best. See you again another video. Thank you everyone.